grievous the impact on others, including the people of England. Well, you know, this is Wealth of Nations, 1770s. And that's basically correct. Now, it's not merchants and manufacturers, it's multinational corporations, you know, investment firms and so on, but the same principle holds, and it holds increasingly in an exaggerated form under the impact of neoliberal ideology to an almost grotesque form. Well, these are real problems, deep social problems, and I think we have to go after those rather than calling on state efforts to regulate speech and publication.
We better talk about the brain, Noam, before we run out of time. Okay. So what I'd like to know is why the study of how we acquire language was important to you, and what has it revealed to us in a broad sense about how the mind works?
Well, traditionally, the capacity for language has been understood to be almost a defining property of the human species. If you go back, say, take Cartesian philosophy, the 17th century dominant philosophy out of which grew the Enlightenment and so on. For Descartes, it literally was the defining property. Remember, for Descartes, it was critical to distinguish creatures with minds, soul or minds, from those who didn't have them. The ones who didn't have souls and minds were machines. That was the mechanical philosophy that was the basis for early modern science. They were machines. Those with souls and minds were human. Well, how would you determine whether some creature has a mind? The proposals that come from Descartes and his followers were by testing their language abilities. You ask, do they have this fundamental creative capacity that humans have and that they exhibit in their normal use of language? What's the creative capacity? I think they captured the essence of it pretty accurately. It's the ability which all humans share, and no, according to them, no animal or machine shares, to create and produce freely new expressions which are appropriate to situations, but not caused by situations. They're not the result of stimuli coming from the outside, or for that matter, even internal stimuli. There's a big difference between being caused and being appropriate. It's a crucial difference, a hard one to capture, but we recognize it. So this innovative behavior has no limits. It can go on indefinitely. In fact, most linguistic performance is new sentences, maybe never produced in the history of the world, or in your own experience at least. And they're also intelligible to others, who recognize, yeah, I could have expressed that thought in that way if it had come to mind. Well, that capacity, sort of a creative aspect of language use, was regarded, and I think plausibly, as a kind of a core component of human cognition, human morality, moral judgment, and in fact, human activity. This was connected, especially in the early